Tesla had changed their prices overnight, but don't click away from this video just yet because you've already seen a video on my channel called Tesla changes their prices overnight. I mean, you have 3 times actually, but this is the 4th time they're doing it. So let me tell you all about it, whether it's up or down and why. And of course, we're going to talk about positives and negatives that are going to be coming out of this particular price change. All of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric! Welcome to E4 Electric, and first things first, don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you will be getting daily electric car scoop, and boy, things are very exciting and they do change almost daily, and of course you will also become a part of this community. All right, as you know, 3 times this year already, Tesla played around with their prices. The last time they've actually caused quite a stir. This is a picture from their store in Shanghai where people literally protesting the price drop. Like, people are protesting the price drop because they bought a car and then it became $100,000 cheaper the next day or next month, so they're a little upset. Okay, so what happened now? They've changed them again and with this tweet overnight, and I really mean overnight. Look, 11:43 p.m. That's where that tweet came through last night. And they're saying that they have an update on Tesla stores and pricing. So let's dive in and see what they're saying. All right, they're starting with over the past 2 weeks, we have been closely evaluating every single Tesla retail location, and we have decided to keep significantly more stores open than previously announced. That's good news. All right, let's read on. When we recently closed 10% of sales locations, we selected stores that didn't invite the natural foot traffic our stores have always been designed for. Now, this one is a little weird because usually when brands open up a store, they don't just kind of walk around and say, hey, that spot looks nice. They actually do a lot of market research, the location research. They evaluate if they're traffic, the foot traffic is what their target audience should be, and only after this extensive market research they open up a store. So it's kind of weird that they're saying that some of their stores are really not meeting up the foot traffic goals that they meeting their expectations. So that's a little bit weird. All right. They're saying now a few stores in high visibility locations that were closed due to low throughput will be reopened, but with a smaller Tesla crew. In addition, there are another 20% of locations that are under review. So it really does look like they're kind of reevaluating everything that normally it looks like brands would do ahead of time. All right, fair enough. Better late than never. All right. As a result of keeping significantly more stores open, Tesla will need to raise vehicle prices by about 3% on average worldwide. In other words, we will only close about half as many stores, but the cost savings are therefore only about half. Now, as you know, they announced that they're going to be closing out a lot of these stores is to be able to achieve their $35,000 price tag on their Model 3. And so that is just kind of a trade-off, and they're just going to be selling all of the Tesla cars online. Okay, moving forward, they're saying there will be no price increase to the $35,000 Model 3. The price increases will only apply to the more expensive variants of Model 3 as well as Model S and X. All right, so they're keeping the $35,000 car at $35,000. That's good. Now, what about the $37,000 model? Because I think that's most people, that's what that they're going to be going for if they want to get the cheaper Tesla. But it doesn't, I mean, I'm not really sure if that will include that model or not. So now they're also saying that potential Tesla owners will have a week to place their orders before prices rise. So currently prices are valid until March 18th. And indeed, I went into their configurator right now. Nothing's changed. You can still order it. So you have about a week. And I think they changed the deliveries from like 2 to 4 weeks. I think now it's like 6 to 8 weeks or so. So deliveries are obviously, because they're kind of probably receiving a lot of those, a lot of the orders. So deliveries are being pushed back. But that makes sense. All right. And to be clear, all sales worldwide will still be done online. In that, potential Tesla owners coming to the stores will simply be shown how to order a Tesla on their phone in a few minutes. Now, I have to say, when I was putting reservation for my Tesla, very first Tesla, in the beginning of 2012, the process was kind of still the same. You'd come to the store and they would just point you to the computer in the corner saying, well, now you can reserve it online. And I don't think anything's changed. So I know this whole ordering online thing is it's kind of always been their way. I like it, but apparently they're making a big push. And of course, the 7 day, 1,000 mile sort of money back guarantee, it's going to stay. So looks like they are raising prices by 3%. Again, we don't know quite which model. It's on average, so maybe some won't, and some will be raised by 5 or 6 or 10%. So we'll find out probably in the coming days. All right, well, let's talk about this fourth price increase or change just this year. And by the way, if you're watching this later, this is March. We're still like March 10th, 11th actually. So all right, let's talk about positives and negatives. Before that, of course, I want to introduce you to our brand new sponsor, Accelerate Auto. Welcome to the family. A very exciting service. The extended service contracts for all electric cars, including the Tesla Model 3, $100 deductibles, up to 125,000 mile coverage. And of course, there's a discount in the description of this video that was specifically generated for our community. So enjoy that. Unfortunately, this is not available in California, but what's available in California and everywhere else in the United States is there business leases for all electric cars, including Tesla Model 3. So check them out. The link is in the description of this video. All right, let's talk about positives and negatives. All right, so of course the positives, and at first I was like, well, how am I going to do the positives here, because this just sounds like bad news all around. But I actually think there is a positive here, because much like many people, I thought that there was a mistake to actually close down their stores, because it's not the same to go ahead and buy a car and then say, well, I don't really like it, and return it, right? Then just walk into the store saying I want a 15-minute test drive, kind of in between shopping with your family. That's a completely different story, and you do need to test drive these cars. As a matter of fact, anybody who will tell you who has one say, you have to be in one in order to be sold. And yes, of course, a lot of us will be showing our cars to friends and family, but just closing down all or most of the showrooms, it looked like a mistake, and I'm glad they're deciding to keep the showrooms and their staff, and people will be able to still do test drives and so forth. Yes, there will be less of them, but I think overall, if they keep them in good locations, actually do their market research this time, I think this is actually a good decision. So I'm kind of glad they reversed this, and I think a lot of people are as well. Okay, well, what about the negatives? Now, and there are two negatives that I see, and this is, I've been struggling with this, for the last few months, and so a lot of people, it just looks like a chaos in the company that just does not have a strategy, a marketing strategy beyond literally 24 hours. They kind of throw something out there and they see what's going to happen, and then they decrease prices and increase prices, open store, close store. Just looks like there is no plan, and that's not good. And I think that's why the stock has been falling, because people are starting to get concerned if they know what they're doing even. And just like with the store locations, right? Like, how did they not know if the foot traffic was going to be what they were looking for and stuff like that? I can understand one or two locations, things change sometimes, but to say that that's a problem, in half of their stores, that's definitely concerning. And secondly, even people who already bought these cars, they are feeling like, well, wait a second, like, did we get kind of duped here? Or people who are just about to buy these cars are thinking like, well, if I buy it right now, am I going to lose the money? Is this the right times? I think it's going to change tomorrow. So I think overall it's creating this confusion that's not good for the company as well. Because customers are confused and they don't know if this is the right time to buy, and also customers are upset because they feel like their cars that you just purchased recently have been devalued. And of course the concern is like, is the company really doing that badly that they have to be closing down the stores? I mean, it just looks bad, right? Every time any company announces they're closing down stores, that's usually not really good news. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is something that is just because it's Tesla, it's okay because they're trying to think things out and they're doing everything differently in different ways? Or do you think this might actually be a bit of a problem? Let me know. And before I go, of course, I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of my newer Patreons, Brandon Reed. Thank you so much for joining my Patreon community, the only place where you can watch me live. And thank you to all of you for supporting this channel and contributing. If you want to be one of the Patreons, go ahead, and there is a link in the description of this video, and it's also right here. All right, guys, looking forward to your comments. Other than that, I will see you next time, and remember to stay charged.